Disruption Networks.
I'm warning you right now. By the power of the internet, I bring you back together once again, people. It is EC Radio. It's Local Music Monday. I don't know what I'm doing behind the control panel because we have a whole new system. But shout out to Todd Williams for making the Disruption Network studio look all shiny and brand new and like up to date and hip. And he's killing it. He is absolutely killing it over here. So much love to my sponsors before we get into anything. Much love to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When it's time to move and relocate, hit up EJA at 315-335-0516. Technical difficulties as always. I wish is this touch screen?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Just go over.
That's I don't know. See, I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm telling you right now. This is what happens when I'm trying to learn on the fly. Let's see. Todd, you know what? Let's just get right into the segment today, and I should learn this a little bit better before we get into anything. It is Local Music Monday, and joining me, as always, for Local Music Monday, my co-host, my compadre, my tag team partner, my main man from the band Showtime and Poor Tim, Justin Smithson, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Justin?
What's going on?
Bear with me today, brother. Bear with me a little bit. I don't know what's going on, so I don't know. How was your weekend? Did you have a couple gigs this weekend?
I did. I had a few gigs this weekend, and unfortunately, my son's been sick all week. So, my daycare lady was on vacation, and so he's been with me while I've been gigging. So it's been pretty fun and a little exhausting, but we're on the tail end of that. So I'm looking forward to being back in the studio next week.
Does he have a case of like swimmer's ear? Or is that what it is? Or?
Well, no, he's had ear infection since he was a kid. I think it's hereditary because I did when I was little too. So we're hoping to avoid the tube thing, but I don't think we're leaning more towards that coming up here. So
poor little guy. Well, I'm throwing him out some speedy recovery vibes.
Thanks, brother.
So it is Local Music Monday, and we do this every Monday. And today we're bringing in our guest all the way from, I don't even know where you're at. Greeley, where are you at today?
The sunny downtown metropolis of Camden, New York.
Ah, nice. All the way from Camden, New York, ladies and gentlemen, yep. Greeley Ford. Good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to come join us.
No problem, fellas. It's my honor.
Now, since we've got you on, can you tell everybody your title with the State Liquor Authority before we jump into everything that we're going to talk about?
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Is he going to go put on a suit?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Right. Justin, I feel like this is going to be one of those segments where we're going to have to do a part 2, a part 3, a part 4.
Oh, yeah.
Because his career is extensive. His career is extensive. I mean, playing bass with Mr. Ed and Classified, 25 years of Classified. I feel like we're going to have to do like a 3-part series with Greeley Ford. So,
yeah.
Can you read that?
I can read that. The commish.
I love it. I love it.
Do you have a badge that goes with the hat?
I actually do have a badge, yes. It gets me into state buildings, yes.
Yeah.
And my most important prized possession, my parking spot behind the Alfred E. Smith building.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you have like a territory you oversee, or is it just like one? Is it the whole state, or is it the territory?
Every square inch of New York State.
Oh, wow. So you're well versed in New York State, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you're 1 and 3, Greeley?
There's 3 commissioners. There's a chairman, and there's 1 other commissioner. So there's 3 of us all together, and they're from downstate New York City, Hudson Valley area, and I'm the only commissioner from upstate. And because I've played in upstate New York since, I don't know, the mid-'70s, and also because I'm an engineer for AT&T and I study upstate New York every day, I know every single nook, cranny, crevice, hamlet, village, dive, every place in New York State, upstate New York particularly. So I'm pretty well suited for the position. I'd like to think of that
Definitely.
anyway. Yeah.
Now, I got to imagine you're pulling the hair out of your head with all these regulations that are going on throughout COVID. What are some of the major obstacles you've seen so far throughout all this?
Well, it's been an evolving process. I guess we could all agree upon that. We've been having hearings every single day. I had them Saturday. We had them Sunday. I have another call I've got to jump on in a few minutes. I'm going to have to cut this shortly. I'm sorry about that. I just got another call. So we're having license suspensions every day. And I realize that times are tough right now, and I realize it's not easy to understand all of this. But as I said in a previous interview, it's pretty simple to keep things orderly. It's go in, sit down, and stay with your party. So the onus and responsibility, unfortunately, is put upon the licensees, the owners. But I think as much needs to be put upon patrons who don't comply and go in and make it hard for the licensee who's just trying to, maintain his business staying open. And it's so easy for someone to come in and violate protocols and cost a licensee their license. So if people would not mingle, if they go in and sit down and not mingle, if they would order food with their alcohol, I know we don't like that, but you have to look at it this way. It's a dining experience. It's not a drinking experience right now. So you're not there to drink and maybe get some chips or something like that, which is really not complying. It's really trying to skirt the rule. Everybody knows what's meant. So the idea is to order food and complement it with alcohol. Everybody has to kind of turn it around how they're looking at things right now. I'm not trying to be your mother, your father. I'm just trying to give my advice on how we can all help each other get through this. And it's just really important for customers and patrons to try to really help out these establishments. Do you want them to stay open? Do you want to still be able to go there when you can? Well, then don't make it hard for them. Don't hang out, don't stand around mingling, and keep your mask on when you leave your table. And if someone comes in, you haven't seen them for a long time. I mean, that's what going out is all about, right? You run into folks and you have a good time. We're all social animals. You wave, how you doing? I'll catch up with you later. Maybe talk to them outside, when you can take your mask off and maintain separation. But don't make it hard for the club or the bar or the restaurant right now. You really could help out by taking more responsibility personally. And that's my 2 cents. That's my soapbox.
I completely agree. We just played an establishment this past weekend, and they were just so overwhelmed with the amount of patrons that were yelling at them and screaming at them and blaming them for enforcing a rule because they didn't agree with it. But once again, it's the establishment saying this is what we've been told to do. This is what's handed down to us, and if we are to stay alive and afloat and be able to make a little bit of extra money here and there just to survive, then we have to comply with this. And it's not us, so throw us a bone here, give us a break a little bit,
Right. Exactly, Justin. And you and I as musicians, the things that we see from stage, I always thought when I was in Mr. Ed, which is the first really big band that I played in, I remember thinking after playing out a few months, wow, if people could see what we see from up here, how people behave and how they act. And it's just a totally different perspective when you start drawing crowds and getting a lot of people in front of you and watching how people behave and interact. It's a great study in human nature to be watching people from stage. I mean, everyone is watching you up on stage, but it's really you're watching them for a couple of reasons. They are your energy. They are your feedback. The audience is who tells you if you're doing a good job or not. Do you have their attention? Are you making them forget about all their stupid troubles that they have back at home, their kids, their job, whatever else? Are you making them have a good time? Never forget why you're there. And this is one of the great things about Showtime. They are never above their audience. That's what I love about your band. Your band realizes that you are there for your audience and to entertain them. And that's all about what it's all about. Like the bass player in Little River Band, his name is Nelson. I can't remember his first name. But we went to see them at the Turning Stone. And I got to tell you, They were one of the best bands I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
No laser show, nothing fancy, no smoke, not dressed up fancy, no stupid dance routines, none of that kind of garbage. Just like 6 or 7 guys
Yeah.
just playing. I mean, just playing in a nice complimentary light show, but these guys are just playing, and they were
Right.
just killing it. And he said, my favorite thing anyone has ever said on stage, he says, hey, listen, everybody having a good time? We all said, hell yeah. He said, listen, he goes, it ain't about us. We're just a band. It's about you. So let's party. Let's have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is all about, man. You know, I mean, it's, I don't know where would where would we be without a crowd in front of us? You know what I mean? You know, how has it been, you know, for the past 3 months and not having a crowd in front of us, and how hard it's been for a lot of these solo acts sitting in front of a phone and having to adapt. You know, I mean, one thing that Tom Stone, our sound man, God rest his soul, he said to us before, you know, when you're presented with a problem, you just adapt and overcome. That's what we do as musicians. That's what we do. We have to learn how to adapt to something new. And I think that if patrons did the same thing out at these bars and just adapted to how it is it hard? Absolutely. And especially when you introduce alcohol into something. This is the one thing I will give as a musician from the stage, Greeley, once again, like you said. People start drinking. You see people get closer together on the dance floor. I mean, I'm even talking before COVID. Okay, you see people get closer to the dance floor throughout the night, and then everybody kind of moves towards the band, and everybody's at the front, and everybody's hooting and hollering and dancing and holding each other. And I mean, that is 100% something that alcohol does. You know, it either brings you closer together, or it makes you the person that you are deep down inside, which could be a raging lunatic. So I mean, you know, I got two separate sides to what it could do, but it's definitely alcohol is what, you know, the catalyst to bring people out of their shells, so to speak. You know what I mean? And and that's the thing. I mean, you know, they don't want us drinking in the bars like that. I mean, you know, if you can't help an establishment to stay alive, then stay home. Don't come out. Have a party at your own house, and you know, have a party at your own house. You want to go ahead and take that risk, and have a party at your own house with other people that want to take that risk, but don't bring it out into the community of people that are trying to survive, and the people that are trying to abide by the rules. And it's not even a rule. It's what is safe right now. What we need to do to be safe right now.
Right.
So,
well, you know, there's all kinds of there's a lot of experts out there. Most of them are on Facebook, of course. But there's so many experts out there, and I read stuff every day. I read a story today that someone sent me today that said, you know, face masks are precisely the opposite of what we should be doing. And it made an argument, and this is from a reputable doctor, and he made the argument that when you have a face mask on, you're actually projecting, you know, your breath out. It's coming out with more force because it's not just coming out naturally. So I thought about that. I go, man, that could make some sense. But, you know, to be honest about it, I don't really know. I don't know what to believe anymore. But common sense just tells me. Common sense tells me if you wear a mask and kind of stay away from people a few feet one way or the other, it can't hurt. And like to your point, Justin, about alcohol, it brings down inhibition, and what bringing down inhibition creates is lack of concern about, you know, you get a lot of I love you mans going on. And then what happens is you begin congregating. And that's what everything that the authority is doing under the direction of the governor, all that we're trying to do is trying to dissuade congregating. That's what it's all about. It ain't the drinking, it's the congregating, and the drinking is what makes it easier to do. So just trying to make people think about it a little bit differently right now. And again, I put more of the onus on the patrons than the owners, because the patrons are the ones who are acting out of control, and the owners are being held accountable for it.
Yeah, because it's unfortunate because the patrons are the ones blaming the owners when it's not even their fault. They're just trying to abide by the rules. And it's a shame where they're going at. And the other thing I want to make mention, too, is the governor taking so much scrutiny over all these change of policies and whatnot. It's not like there was a playbook established. This is the first time we are ever going through all this. So the guy, you should cut the guy a little bit of a slack. Don't you agree?
I think we need to cut people slack from the very top on down. I think everybody in this has done some really good things and made some mistakes along the way. All the experts, if you go back to January, were saying, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's nothing to be worried about." And now they're exactly opposite. So even the experts, the self-avowed, the true experts in all of this, medical experts like the CDC and Dr. Fauci and all these others, I'm just throwing out those names. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying all of them didn't get it right. So you have everybody else, all of our elected leaders who aren't medical professionals, they didn't get it right either in every case. So I think everybody's trying to do something, and I think we need to cut them all a little bit of slack. Do I think there's a little bit of politics on both sides, kind of injected in this? Yeah, of course there is. But the bottom line is, I think we need to give them all a little bit of slack and give them credit for dealing with something that's we've never dealt with on a national level at this point. So
yeah, you look at other states right now like Florida and Texas, and they've got bigger booms than we had here in New York.
Yeah, but I've been digging into the Florida numbers, and I think they're a bit conflated. In other words, there's a difference between dying of COVID and with COVID. And I think those numbers are being conflated, and I've been digging into them. And I won't get into this all right now, but I don't think Florida is the way it's really being represented. I think there's more to it than that. But I don't like to speak and make my point until I've done my research. But that's the impression I'm getting right now. But I'll dig into that, and I'll talk about that later.
You mean you're not getting all your information off a meme on Facebook? Come on.
I'm taking a break from Facebook, actually.
Same.
So,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
yeah.
I just don't blame you at all, especially at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I have lots of other places I get my news, and there's some blogs and stuff like that I follow on Facebook that I'm going to have to try to find out how to stay in the loop somewhere else to get them.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't want to say pride myself. I force myself to get good information because I'm pretty opinionated, and I want to make sure that I got my facts straight before I put that out there. So I don't want to.
I think it's imperative. I don't know, but I think it's imperative to read both sides of the argument in every aspect. I mean, I guess we're taught that when we grow up. There's two sides to every story. And if you're believing one side or another only, then how are you getting the full story? How are you getting exactly what's going on? I mean, I think that we're pretty good judge of characters as human beings to the point where we can take both sides, read both sides, and figure out what is really happening and what is really going on either end. And it's not even, and it essentially is not. It doesn't turn into a political thing when you look at it as that. I think you know what I mean. It's one story. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just the way I believe anyway.
My good friend, Senator Griff will call me. I'm going to get back to him in a minute. My good friend, OGS Commissioner Roy Andestito, we were talking about something, an issue a little while ago, and she was giving me warning, a heads up that I'm going to be getting called about something. And she says, so before you make a decision, you might want to do what I always do. I wait to hear the other side of the story. So I think of her advice all the time to not make a judgment call based on what I first hear or what I first read or what I first see. I always wait a little bit, so you get the rest of the story, because there always is at least another side to a story, right?
Sure. Absolutely. You said Senator Griffo, he mentioned something. He was quoted as saying that SLA should not be used as a food czar for local bars and restaurants. Can you elaborate on that a little bit on what he was talking about?
Well, I love Senator Griffo. I've known him since he worked for Carl Eilenberg. He was mayor in Rome back in the 80s, late 80s, yeah.
Yep.
Forgot how long it's been. Wow. But he told me before he put that statement out, he gave me a call. He goes, listen, dude, he goes, I'm going to slam you in a minute here. So I'm just giving you a heads up. Don't take it personally. I said, you're supposed to speak for your constituents. So you say whatever you got. I'm a big boy. I don't get offended. I don't give people that right.
I imagine in your position, you have to have thick skin, right?
Sure.
Yes, it's getting tougher. It's getting more leathery every day. You know, I'm not
um,
a popular guy right now. Very much so, not very popular right now. But
yeah, I can
you know,
imagine.
I was appointed to fulfill a position and to fulfill a duty, and you know, the governor is the governor, and he's the boss, and it's our job to enforce his rules and you
Right,
know, things that he issues, his executive orders in our democratic society. They are the law, whether you like them or not. They are what they are. So I have no choice but to impartially and fairly imply the law to the
right.
best of my ability.
Before we lose you to a call, which I know is coming soon, I just since this is Local Music Monday, I'm curious to know, and one of my biggest questions for you is, how do you see an area with such a huge music scene like Central New York, Utica, Syracuse area? How do you see us coming on the other end of this? Like, what do you see from your end? What do you see happening? I mean, are we going to have a scene? Are we going to have a music scene? Are we going to have is things going to be even close to being back to where they were? I mean, what do you foresee happening on your end, just from what you've seen?
Well, you know, I think things aren't going to be back to the way they were till possibly next summer. You know, I just don't see it
Hmm.
really. I mean, we're closing out. We're at the end of July already. So all those great summer gigs, I mean, they're going to start trailing off pretty soon, and then you're
Oh yeah,
back to being inside full time. And I'm not sure how comfortable people are going to be in that environment, like concerts, local music, whatever. I'm just not sure how people are going to be. Now, I
yeah,
say that as I'm looking at videos and pictures of bars that I'm closing down where people are like, you know, care to the wind about it. But
sure,
I don't think that by and large how most people are going to be. Everyone's going to be a little bit more careful about where they go. That's my
hmm,
opinion. I'm
right,
hoping that gigs return. I want to see my friends playing again. You know, I personally have retired from playing. So is Frank Briggs. He's retired from playing. So is Carl Goodhines. He's retired from playing. So I just think maybe a couple of us at our age have decided that maybe it's just time to maybe look in another direction. So
right,
it could go either way. I'm hoping that the gigs return because so many friends, good friends like guys I love, like you, Justin, and that knucklehead Jose, and you know the rest of those guys. And, you know, I want to see you guys working again because I know you live, eat, and breathe it. You know, and I
yeah,
pray and hope for the best for you guys. You know, so guys like you will be okay. You're pros. You've been doing this a long time, and you guys will continue to work. You'll figure out how it's done. So
yeah.
I'm not worried
Once
about
again,
you.
adapt and overcome, right?
Adapt and overcome. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
like everything else in life, right?
Exactly,
Don't whine and cry
exactly.
about it. What do I got to do? Figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, and I have to say something, Z, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. One person I hope to see out very soon playing is Tim Moyer.
Yes, the unofficial sponsor of Local Music Monday. Yes, we need to see him playing again. And that
But just
continues this streak.
we
Greeley,
love
every
Tim. We
single
still
show
love
we've
Tim.
done, we've had to bring up Tim in some way. I'm sure that like we actually can't bring him on for a show anymore because his head takes up more than the than the area of the camera. So,
Uh,
Greeley,
all
anyway,
right,
there's
you
there's
guys.
one question out there that I do want to get to, and somebody, Carla's asking, can you guys speak upon alternative venues such as food truck gatherings and maybe drive-in concerts and parking lot concerts, stuff like that?
Uh, in terms of if they're going to be allowed or
Yeah,
what?
allowed or the social gathering aspect of it. Is that something you can speak on?
Uh, that really is not in my purview as a commissioner of the state liquor authority to
Hmm.
say you can't have those events. That would be probably local jurisdictions, board of health, things like that. Uh, I watched a concert last night that someone sent me in Bridgehampton on Long Island. It was a big concert, and they sent it to me, and everyone was in cars or on top of their cars,
Hmm.
social distancing from their cars. It was a huge I don't know if it was a parking lot or it was a field, but everybody was either in their car or sitting on top of it, but people were staying with themselves. And the concert, I couldn't see, but it was a huge stage and lights. And I asked the person, I
Wow.
said, that looks like I said, that looks like a DJ. She goes, it's a DJ. Yeah, it is a DJ. And I said, well, how can that be considered a concert? People are watching a DJ. I go, am I that old? I go, what are you talking about? You're watching a DJ? People went to a concert and paid to be there to watch a DJ. I'm in the wrong business. So,
Aren't we all, my friend?
yeah. So I really don't know how that's going to work out. That's not within the purview of our authority. If things get out of hand and they have a liquor license there, then that would come before us to deal with accordingly. If the local authorities
Sure.
came and cited them for violating executive order rules.
Copy that. Greeley, this is another conversation we got to have for future.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even touch on your music career, and that's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah,
I wanted to base out with you a little bit, because I know when we all played Odd Fest together, I was super excited. That was the first time I got to meet you, and I was like, I've been watching you play with Classified for 25 years, and and I've always enjoyed your playing. You've always been like very subtle, like groovy, in the pocket type of bass player, and I've always respected you for that.
Thank you. That's all I want to be. Back in Mr. Ed, I got my lead bass out of my blood back then. We were doing a lot of Yes and Genesis, a lot of English progressive rock, and that was fun back then. But my later years, all I want to do is I just want to groove and sit in the pocket with a really good drummer. And I played with some of the absolute best. Larry Desiato.
Absolutely.
I have to mention his name now I think about it.
Shout out to Cuz.
Yeah, shout out to Cuz, Maurice Petrello, John Dugan, Lenny Milano, Carl Sterling, Jim Lucas. I started naming names. I'm going to forget somebody now, but you get the idea. So sure. I played with just some of the absolute best. So I've been very blessed.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for taking time out of your busy day, and you make sure you make that call back to Senator Griffo, or he's going to get mad at you.
I'm calling right now.
Much appreciated, Greeley. Thank you so much for hanging with us today.
Thanks so much, brother.
Thank you. Now, how do I hang up, or do you guys disconnect me?
Yeah, I think you just I don't know. How does he do that? So I'm learning. I don't know. I have no idea. You can hang with us if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
I would
just close it out, right?
Get back to work.
I think you can just close it out.
Guys.
Thanks,
have a good
man.
one, Greeley. Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you, Justin, for hanging. It's Local Music Monday, and like we do here every Monday, shout out to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. Let's see if I do this right, Todd. Let's see if I do this right. Ready? How about that? Yes, I did it right.
Yes.
Oh, my God. I did it, Justin. If you're ready to move and relocate, you can hit up Eddie at 315-335-0516 or hit him up at ejamoving.com. He makes your move stress-free, so hit him up and let him do it. They're clean. They're professional. They wear masks, they wear back brace, they're respectable young men, they're awesome individuals. They'll move you pretty much wherever you need to go. ejamoving.com. Also, much love to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, and my good friend attorney Dave Longaretta. If you need legal advice, give him a call today at 315-735-6162. Let me see if I can bring you up again, Justin, if this is going to work here. Let's do it like this. No, let's do like this. Yeah, that kind of worked. And Greeley's frozen, but that's okay. That's okay. Justin,
It's like we're still talking to him.
Justin, where are you playing this weekend? Plug your dates.
Actually, I have a couple of private gigs this weekend, but I am playing our gig last Wednesday got canceled at the Brass Tack because of weather. We're going to try it again this Wednesday. So.
Right on, brother. Cool. And they could find your dates pretty much on social media and Facebook and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, Facebook.com/Showtime the band. You can find everything on there. Solo dates and stuff will be on my site, but for the most part, Showtime the band on Facebook. Just look us up, you'll find us.
Cool, man. We got to get Sean on one of these days really soon for a Local Music Monday.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll have to get Greeley on again. And I promise everybody out there listening, we'll do something where we could post, where maybe we can get like a form of questions and stuff that we can ask him, and not just liquor authority questions, but I mean, he's. Been a catalyst in the music industry around here for 25 plus years, so 30 plus years. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that people would love to ask him. So, I mean, I think we should do that maybe for next time, do like a, question answer type thing where, we have you guys ask those questions and have him
say what he needs to say about everything. So, everything Greeley, part 2.
Yeah,
that's what we should call it.
I think we're going to need 3, 4, 5 different parts of Greeley, but we'll definitely get that. And I'm trying to learn to say, look, I could do me, and now here's you, and now here's me again, and then look, there's you again. I'm learning.
I love it.
Do you see my brain smoking right now? I mean, and it's not it's not just the THC, people. But watch me learn, right? Unfold under your eyes. But anyways, if you're out there in Facebook land, please do me a favor and click the share button. Help spread the word of Local Music Monday, EC Radio, and all things we are doing here on the D. Speaking of things we are doing here on the D, tonight I am super excited. No Time for Nonsense goes live at 7 o'clock with my cousin, Arky Sanfrocco. You might remember him from the San Diego Padres and the Montreal Expos, and his grandfather and my grandfather were brothers. And I'm super excited to talk to him. I haven't talked to him since I was a teenager. So that goes live tonight at 7 o'clock with Bill Vinci, Ryan Vinci, and myself. I'm jumping in. I decided I'm going to just jump in anyways because it's family, bro. It's family. And like I said, I haven't talked to him in a while. So that goes live tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here on Disruption Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, comment, all that social media lingo. Do it as far as Disruption Network goes. And Justin, Tim Moyer says hello, Justin.
I saw it. I just saw it.
the unofficial sponsor of Local Music Monday.
Listen, I know that we didn't have enough time to get it in today, so I had to figure out some way to push it in there. And as soon as he started talking about local bands and stuff, I'm like, don't forget about Tim Moyer. He's got to play too. So we have it,
Much love to Tim and Greeley Page and all the local bands, man. There's such a great scene here in upstate New York, and that's exactly why we do this show, is to promote the local music scene and all the talent that comes out of the 315. So this has been a lot of fun to do this with you, bro.
Yeah, it's so much fun to do, man. And I can honestly say that we're all trying through this whole thing right now. Everybody's trying to make it work and doing what they have to do and coming up with different things. And I think that what we all did virtually collectively as a scene was absolutely incredible. And I hope that doesn't go away. I'm excited to do this show and just promote whatever we can, local music stuff. If you want to see somebody on here, leave it in the comments who you want to see on here, and we'll get them on, do an interview, and talk about their life as a central New York musician.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great idea, too. So if there's somebody you'd like to see on Local Music Monday that we haven't featured yet, other than Tim Moyer, hit us up, drop us a comment, slide into my DMs, as the kids like to say, and let us know who you'd like to see on this. There's a whole bunch of artists out there that we haven't even talked to yet, but we have talked to like some of the best of the best, that's for sure, and I'd like to continue that for sure.
Definitely. Shout out to Brad Beechard. I used to play in a band with him years ago. He just said hi, so just shout out to Brad.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Yeah. Well, have a good week, bro. And everybody out there at Facebook land, if they could do us a favor and please click the share button and spread the word. And I will see you on Thursday. I think I'm coming back on Thursday. I'm going to take a couple days off and come back on Thursday. Must be nice, right?
I know.
Justin Smithson, you're a gem, my man, and we will talk to you soon. Later.